Eala Janice Tjen marched to Abu Dhabi Open doubles semifinals. Manila, Philippines. Filipino Alexandra Eala and Indonesian Janice Tjen shocked second seeds Cristina Bucsa of Spain and Shuai Zhang of China 6-3, 6-3, to reach the doubles semifinals in the WTA 500 Abu Dhabi Open Friday morning at Zayed Sports City International Tennis Center in United Arab Emirates. They will meet fourth seeds Tereza Mihalikova of Slovakia and Olivia Nichols of Great Britain, who won over Andrea Klepek of Slovenia and Irina Kromakeva 5-7, 7-6, 5, 10-8. Read, Alex Eala bows to Alexandrova in Abu Dhabi Open quarterfinals. Eala had earlier lost her quarterfinal match in the singles to second seed Ekaterina Alexandrova 3-6, 3-6. Alexandrova, ranked number 11 in the world, will face American Hailey Baptiste, who stunned fifth seed Ludmila Samsonova 6-2, 4-6, 6-4. Baptiste eliminated compatriot and fourth seed Emma Navarro 7-6, 7, 0-6, 6-3 to reach the quarters. Meanwhile, third seed Clara Tauson of Denmark outplayed McCartney Kessler of USA 6-3, 6-4 to forge a semifinal duel with Sara Bijlek of Czech. Bijlek, who ousted number 7 Jelena Ostapenko of Latvia in the second round, scored a 6-0, 6-2 victory over Sonny Cardle of Great Britain. And the other doubles result, Alexandrova/Maya Joint of Australia defeated third seeds Ellen Perez of Australia and Demi Schuurs of the Netherlands 6-4, 6-1, to advance in the semifinal against Americans Sofia Kenin and Desiree Krozik, who walked over Ostapenko and Barbara Krejcikova of Czech Republic. In the gleaming courts of the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open, where desert sun met the electric tension of world-class tennis, something extraordinary unfolded. Not just another match or another result, but a story of partnership, perseverance, and pride. On a brisk evening in early February 2026, two rising stars from Southeast Asia, Filipino sensation Alex Eala and Indonesian powerhouse Janice Tjen, did what few expected. They stormed into the doubles semifinals of a WTA 500 event. It wasn't a fluke. It wasn't luck. It was the unfolding of something bigger, the march of two young athletes determined to make a mark on the global stage. From rivals to sisters. Their story prior to Abu Dhabi was already stirring. Weeks before the event, tennis fans were buzzing when news came that Eala and Tjen, despite being competitors, would join forces for the doubles draw. Some raised eyebrows, two ambitious singles players pairing up? But there was something poetic about it. Two Southeast Asians, each with her own dreams and ambitions, choosing unity over rivalry. They cheekily embraced their new identity, the sisters, a nod to both their regional roots and their shared drive. It was more than a nickname, it was a banner under which they marched, turning disappointment into determination. This partnership wasn't just a happy coincidence. Earlier in the tournament, Alex Eala's singles campaign ended in the quarterfinals with a loss to the Russian second seed, Ekaterina Alexandrova. It was a valiant effort, full of grit and flair, but it stopped short of a title run. For a moment, many thought her journey might quietly conclude. But that's where the narrative shifted. Rather than folding after a tough singles defeat, Eala recharged her competitive spirit and stepped onto the doubles court alongside Tjen with renewed purpose. This psychological turnaround, from solitary disappointment to collaborative determination, was the first spark in what would become an unforgettable story of resilience. A dominant performance in the quarterfinals. And dominate they did. In the quarterfinal showdown, the duo faced the second seeds, experienced pros Zhang Shuai and Cristina Bucsa, both decorated, world-tested competitors with reputations to match. Most would have expected a tight contest. Instead, Eala and Tjen played with a blend of ferocity and fluidity that left fans and pundits alike in awe. From the first serve onward, they seized the momentum, asserting an early advantage in both sets and closing the match 6-3, 6-3 in a display of tactical sharpness and intuitive teamwork. Instead of passive rallies, they pressed forward. Instead of waiting for chances, they created them, fierce returns, rapid net play, and fearless swings that disrupted their opponent's rhythm. They didn't just win, they announced themselves. Chemistry beyond the court. What made this triumph special wasn't just the scoreline, it was the chemistry between them. Eala, known for her aggressive court coverage and dynamic shot-making, seemed to thrive off Tjen's strategic baseline play and rhythmic consistency. One commentator described their synergy as watching a single organism think and react as one, defensive when necessary, explosive when possible, always in sync. Their communication wasn't just technical but emotional. On pressure points, they didn't flinch, they rallied, encouraged, and supported one another as if every point belonged to both, not just one. This blend of camaraderie and competitive fire is rare, especially on a stage like the Abu Dhabi Open. Significance for Southeast Asia. There's another layer to their achievement, the wider impact on Southeast Asian tennis. Historically, elite tennis has been dominated by players from Europe, North America, and Australia. Prospects from Asia, particularly Southeast Asia, have routinely fought for recognition and breakthroughs. In recent years, that narrative began to shift, but seeing two Southeast Asian players excel together on a major tour stop was still a rare and powerful moment. Their run resonated far beyond the Middle East courts. Fans back home, from Manila to Jakarta, and across the region, felt a surge of collective pride. These weren't just simply wins in a draw, they were symbolic victories, signaling that the next generation of tennis stars could emerge from places where tennis wasn't always center stage. Facing what comes next. Now, by reaching the semifinals, Eala and Tjen are set to face another formidable duo, the fourth seeds, Teresa Mihalikova and Olivia Nichols. This match will not only test their skills anew but also their mental resilience. For Eala, this represents another chapter in the evolution of her career, a player capable of bouncing back from setbacks with grit and adaptability. And for Tjen, this is another stepping stone in a trajectory that has already seen her make significant waves on the circuit. Their journey is far from over. But every point they earn, every crowd they engage, and every headline they make continues to inspire aspiring athletes back in their homeland and across the region. Beyond the trophy, a legacy in making. Whether they lift the trophy or not, this chapter at the Abu Dhabi Open has already carved a place in the hearts of many. This isn't just about tennis. It's about two young women carrying the hopes of their nations, proving that regional rivalries can transform into partnerships of power. It's about turning disappointment into motivation, setbacks into comebacks, and individual dreams into shared triumphs. More than the scoreboard, what will linger from this moment is the image of two sisters walking onto the court, smiles bright, spirits fearless, ready to battle, not just for a title, but for a dream that began long before the lights of Abu Dhabi. And as the sun sets over the Emirati skyline, one thing is certain, this story has only just begun. Final words. In the rhythm of tennis and in the cadence of every rally, Eala and Janice Tjen didn't just win matches, they told a story.